I've noticed there's a lot of games that require you to either rescue a princess and an equal amount requiring you to rescue your girlfriend, naturally. At least, this time, the nobility hasn't left it up to the common man to solve their problems, and instead, a brave young heir to the throne charges into the fray. His name is Prince, and he is clumsy. Prince Clumsy. Prince Clumsy was also released on the Amiga and Atari ST under the name The Sword and the Rose, just in case you thought it looked familiar but couldn't place it. That's hardly a name to inspire confidence, is it? Just some bumbling posho who has suddenly been thrust into a life or death situation that his governess and public school education could not possibly have prepared him for. Well, that's interesting. You don't see many games that start with a knight killing zombies in a graveyard. Well, okay then. That's what you're looking at here. Prince Clumsy is the bluish, armour-clad knight, and that purple and grey lump is a zombie, or ghoul, or what have you. Some kind of revenant anyway. Thankfully, Prince Clumsy sets out with an unlimited supply of throwing daggers at his disposal. He can make short work of any enemies in his way. Oh, hang on. I looked again and realised that's not a zombie attacking our hero, but rather the Grim Reaper himself, or at very least, one of Death's lackeys. Aside from stabbing Death himself right in the bony mush, Prince Clumsy also features some platforming, which is hardly surprising considering it's an action platformer. It's what I'd call light platforming, where the more complicated it gets is jumping from one moving platform to another. There are no obstacle courses or anything like that, but these early jumps did reveal a very welcome surprise. Prince Clumsy is not clumsy at all. In fact, his jumping skills are smooth and responsive, and although there's a brief learning curve while you figure out that it's often more effective to jump straight up into the air than guide the prince left or right as he falls, rather than jumping diagonally, overall it makes for a far more playable game than a lot of the computer platformers from this era. Hey look, a treasure chest, but it doesn't have any treasure in it, only points. Maybe the real treasure is the experience. I feel like I've really grown as a person after jumping over this small stream, much as Prince Clumsy's thighs must have grown if they're constantly propelling him into the air while he wears full plate armour. I'd assume that to get past the portcullis I'd need a key, because there's a space for keys on the status bar, although I'll admit I thought I started with a key, because that number up there could just as easily be a grey 1 with a black outline as it could a tall blocky 0. The underground caverns are home to these floating faces. They're fairly creepy, appearing out of nowhere and floating towards you wearing an expression of someone who's furious but trying to hide it behind a smile. Still, just like regular non-floating faces, you can stop them with a dagger to the eye socket. There's the key, the massive, man-sized key. Past the portcullis and halfway up a large and sturdy tree, Prince Clumsy is attacked by various creatures. Okay, attacked might be too strong a word. Pranced at by various creatures. Transported to a realm of wonder through the power of dance by various creatures. Yes, that feels more accurate. The creatures are just trying to have a good time, but I recently collected a power-up that changed my throwing daggers into throwing axes, and I've got to test them out on something. Sorry, creature dudes. I hope the fact that your undeath provided me with valuable axe-related data is a comfort to the loved ones you leave behind, and the results of this data are that axes are only different from the daggers in that they travel in a near imperceptible arc. They still kill everything in one hit, just like the daggers and every other weapon in this game. Oh look, deadly water. If only I'd had some kind of warning. Weirdly, Prince Clumsy doesn't drown or even fall off the bottom of the screen if he touches the water. He does the same comical death animation as when he runs out of health. He falls over and his helmet rattles around his head for a couple of seconds, so rather than drowning, I guess he's just severely allergic to water. I saw that ball and chain on the floor over there and I thought I'd found a new weapon to collect, but no, it hurts and stuns you if you touch it. It's not spinning around or anything, so our hero probably just trips over it, because, you know, he's not called Prince Graceful. Maybe that should be his name though. As I've said, he actually controls well and he's fairly nimble, which is handy because the most efficient way to play Prince Clumsy is as quickly as possible. In common with huge swathes of the home computer action game genre, enemies in Prince Clumsy aren't waiting on each screen when you enter, but instead they quickly and relentlessly tear through the fragile vein of our existence and pour onto the screen from all angles. Endlessly they come, their numbers ever replenished, even if you stand in a corner and kill thousands of them, so don't do that. It's the medieval equivalent of trying to get telemarketers to leave you alone by politely asking them to stop calling. Instead, the best strategy is to run and jump through the screens as quickly as you can, because if you're fast enough, you can get to the next screen before all the enemies have finished spawning in from whatever hellish dimension they call home. So run, leap and scamper to victory, all the while holding down the fire button to lay down a blanket of pointy death in front of you. It's not an elegant system of generating threats, although in Prince Clumsy, monsters don't tend to spawn right inside you like in so many C64 and Spectrum games, and it's never as much fun as facing well-designed enemies that have some thought and attention put into their placement, but the action is fast and smooth enough that Prince Clumsy just about stays on the right side of enjoyable. Prince Clumsy arrives at a small village constructed entirely from grey pebbles and driftwood. It's a little painful to look at, so it's a shame it makes up half the backgrounds for the rest of the game. It's extra unfortunate because all the grey enemies blend right into it. Looking at this creature's head, I think it might be the ghost of a pterodactyl. There are also a lot of indoor areas. They are infested with giant spiders, which is fine by me because it keeps the giant fly population down. I like that bold design choice of having your dining tables floating in the middle of the room. It's a good conversation piece for your dinner parties. Plus, if you're good enough, you can pull off a really impressive version of the old yank the tablecloth away but leave everything standing trick. Just beyond the village is a platforming section composed of rickety wooden bridge pieces and floating rocks. I suspect this is the village's lame attempt at a tourist attraction. The rest of the game takes place in and around a large castle, and unlike the disparate elements that make up the rest of the game, it has a sense of architecture to it that's quite nice. And as you gradually make your way to the top by walking along the outside and travelling through the inner rooms, you do get something of an idea that it's a real, sensible building. Maybe they're not tables, maybe they're very solid and very helpful ghosts. There's the princess, locked inside her cell, patiently awaiting rescue. I've even got the key I need to release her, but first I've got to jump up onto the roof and make my way around. Once more, I am asked to put my faith in the notion that leaping from the castle's battlements is a good and productive course of action. Okay, sure, what other choice do I have? The princess isn't going to rescue herself, more's the pity. Hello, your majesty. It is I, your other majesty. I assume we're either brother and sister, or we're betrothed or something. Pack your bags and walk through this wall, then it's just a simple hop off the side of the castle and we're home free. So, her sister was the villain all along, huh? Might have been nice had that been mentioned previously, or if the evil sister had shown up at all. The princess is also a lot smaller than the prince. Maybe they call him Prince Clumsy because he's 9 feet tall and built like Stallone or Schwarzenegger sitting on each other's shoulders inside a trench coat. He's not clumsy per se, it's just the world isn't built to his scale. So, that was Prince Clumsy. And what did you think of this game? Hit the like button and let me know in the comments section. Also, if you're enjoying the nostalgia, then please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow me on this epic nostalgic journey to revisit more classic Commodore titles. There's one coming up now, so I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, a massive thank you for watching and being part of this awesome community. Bye for now.